Hello there, Ray here, and today guys we'll be looking at the new iron farms for 1.16 and all the changes that come with it. What does this mean for iron farms? And can we actually make better iron farms with these new changes? We'll be looking at my quick iron farm, which is really easy to build up, as well as the super fast iron farm that I showed with Extrota. So you guys have a good understanding how this change affects the easy iron farm all the way to the extremely fast one. And this is in my testing world, so there's some other stuff here as well. It doesn't affect the farm. In the new 1.16 snapshot 20W19A, it made it so that villages can summon iron golems without actually having worked in their workstations. So here we got some villagers. They have no profession. They have no workstations. The workstations used to be right here, but you can see there is none. But they still need to be able to sleep. So you see we got some beds here for the villagers to sleep in. And you can see iron golems are still spawning. Now this is my quick iron farm. It's a single cell iron farm, but it's extremely easy to build up, and you can build multiple of these if you want more iron per hour. It's only a handful of blocks to build the entire thing. But what does it actually mean to have no workstations for the villagers? This isn't as quite clear cut as it may seem. You might be thinking that iron farms can get smaller, but it's pretty easy to integrate the workstations into the village. These here just used to be cauldrons, and iron golems were unable to spawn on top of it, which is something to keep in mind when building these. You don't want to build it with any materials that iron golems will be able to be placed on top of. We got bottom slabs, we also got some glass, we got a top slab here, but we have a button on top, so iron golem won't spawn there. They also won't spawn on the beds because there's no blocks underneath of them, and they won't spawn on this composter or like cauldrons because they're not full surfaces. So they'll just spawn down here, and then they'll walk towards the zombie because they want to attack it, but they're too far away to actually hit it, and they'll fall down here into this lava and die. All the loot's being taken down into this chest down here. And I also put in a command block that just tells us when iron comes through. But by removing the workstations, we actually gain something, and that is we don't have to have the villagers in a state where they're not scared in order for them to work. So in the past, for them to work on the workstation, they cannot be scared by the zombie. So if I turn on hitboxes by doing F3 plus B, and if I pretend I'm a villager, I stand in here. If I look over here, I can see the red line. If I can see the red line of that zombie, it means as a villager, they can also see it and they would be scared by the zombie. Therefore, they would not work in the workstation. If they stand over here, you can see they would not be able to look through the glass, unlike me, and they would not be scared by the zombie because there's not a direct line of sight to the zombies. So if there was a workstation here, they could work on the workstation. If there was a guy over here trying to work on the workstation, this guy would scare him, but the way my old design worked is, yeah, they just like stand here, work on the workstation. Because they move around this little area, they're able to do that. But now we really don't even have to worry about that. So they can actually be scared during the working hours, which is around kind of morning time till noonish. It's important that they at least work once in a while, otherwise they won't produce iron. But that has changed, so this was kind of a particular time where we needed them to not be scared, but we don't have to worry about them now, so now we only have to worry about them sleeping. So if I set time to night, villagers are going to attempt to start to sleep. You see they all did actually sleep there for a brief moment, allowing iron golems to continue to spawn. The game still does that check where you need to sleep about once a day, but it's a lot easier for them to sleep even though they're scared. Notice how these guys are often in situations where they're still scared, but they're able to still sleep. As long as they touch the bed just for a brief moment, it will count. And this is a lot easier to do than them trying to work on the workstation. Because of this, I actually moved the farm back one as well as up one. This gives more line of sight for iron golems. Any iron golem that spawns like way over here, before the bed was a little bit low, in some circumstances the iron golem would have to move a little bit in order to see the zombie. But with the bed up higher, the iron golem's way back here, like you see in this one that was there, pathfind straight over here to the zombie. No problem whatsoever. So pretty much anywhere where they pathfind, they're able to get to the villager now, which is a great improvement. And iron farms do work 24/7 on servers or even on single player inside of spawn chunks, as long as overall is loaded. So I can even prove this. And spawn chunks are currently loaded because I'm here. This is world spawn point. So this is like inside of spawn chunks. So under here we have just a comparator, which is going to a command block that will tell us when iron comes through. And then we can TP ourselves out very, very far. And now we should be able to see messages whenever iron golem goes inside and then dies. We should get a new iron message. You can see you got 2 more iron messages. Iron is being produced in spawn chunks without anyone being there. This works with old versions as well as new versions. I know sometimes you guys say the iron farm don't work unless you're nearby. Just put them in your spawn chunks. Make sure you're still playing on a vanilla server, not Spigot or anything else like that, or in single player, and make sure you're in the overworld so that these are loaded. Villagers will sleep in bed as well as work in workstations in spawn chunks all by themselves. So this farm works just fine inside spawn chunks. I've also talked to quite a few people that have built this farm and use it in their spawn chunks. It always helps to have the lightning protection, which is this big huge piece up here. And make sure that you don't have anything that can burn near this lava. So if you have any problems with stuff burning, you put in signs. They don't burn, or like banners, they also don't burn. Plus they also don't interfere with the iron golem's movement. That's why we use them there. You can actually build this in another dimension. You just don't put it in the water, and the iron golem will eventually make himself touch this lava. Just need to put in some more hoppers down below. You could build this up within probably 5 minutes of finding a village. You can have the villagers walk up here onto these beds just by making a staircase up here, and then removing all the beds in the village, and they'll want to go to a bed, so they'll come up here and hop into these beds, and then you just close them off. Getting the zombie in, I'll show you guys how to do that. You can use a composter or a cauldron. Both of them will work. We'll just get rid of that guy, and we'll get a new guy. So you have this little container that you want him to be inside of. Best thing to do is to lure him on top of something else and then open it up, let him fall into it. So something like that would work. So what you want to do is just make it so the zombies think they can get really close to these guys over here. So if you place in like a trapdoor here and here, I think they can go from here and hop up here and go over here. You don't want them to actually get up here, so if you just space these trapdoors out a little bit, they're unable to actually get up there, but they think they can get over here. Now if we just make a way for them to get up there, so make like a little staircase, goes all the way down to the ground. Now any zombie that's nearby that can see these guys is going to use the staircase they made to walk himself up here all by himself. So now he's pretty close to where you want him. But notice if I open this up, he's not going to actually fall into there. So that's not good. So probably want to come in here and just place in a block that's kind of going to align him. So this block will align him. Let's go ahead and we'll just get rid of the iron golem so he doesn't mess up anything. So let's try it again. The zombie is going to walk up the staircase you made for him. But this time he's not going to get any closer than that block right there. Awesome. Now we should be able to open and close this really fast, and look at that, guys, he's in there. So like I said, don't overcomplicate it. I know you guys kind of complained about getting the zombie in there, but it really just has to do with thinking of outside the box solutions to overcome problems and making the mobs work for you. And then you come in here and just place in a button. You have to hold shift. A lot of people ask, like, how do you get buttons on top of stuff? Just hold shift. Place a button there, that way iron golems don't spawn on top of that. And just like that, guys, you got a zombie inside of your iron farm. So the simple iron farm is working great. These improvements will make it much easier to build up. Let's go check out the potentially fastest iron farm that I showed with Extrata over there at the end dimension. So this is in a different world. This is the fastest iron farm. You can see it's producing a lot of iron. I'll provide both world downloads to the simple one as well as this one down in the description so you guys can build up your very own world. But this one has some really cool properties, and you can find the entire video down below. Let's go ahead and give it a try. You can see I already switched out all the workstations just with normal blocks, and I rotate this through a whole day cycle, so they don't have like any professions or anything. You see they lost all that. Let's go ahead and give it a try. We'll go over here to the other side, make the minecart go through, and then we will hop onto the minecart. Whenever a iron golem spawns, you'll see that it will immediately be taken through the gate portal, and then will be sent back over to where the farm is again. Every time we're going through, we're allowing the villagers to spawn in iron golems. A really cool design. You guys can check out all the information about it down in the description. But what we're looking into is the changes. Notice any changes now that they don't need to work on their workstation. So I've been running it for a little while, and if we go ahead and take a look, we can see there is just tons of iron golems down here. I mean, they're piling up here in the cave and all get burned. So yeah, it's still super fast. And in this design, the workstations really don't play that big a part, because every time you go in and out of the portal, they will attempt to work on the workstation. And because you go in and out so often, even if they don't get on the first attempt, they'll eventually will be able to do it. Same thing goes for sleeping. They're able to sleep also when you go in and out. And that's the main thing that's needed now, is just for them to sleep. So they could do that just fine. So this farm really didn't change that much. I did notice that iron golem did spawn on top of this. At one time, there was a trapdoor here, so I just put a redstone dust. That stopped him from spawning up there. And one thing to keep in mind, the rates will produce exactly 6 every time during the day hours. And during the night hours, if I switch it to midnight, because they're sleeping in beds when you go in and out of this portal, the villagers are a little bit closer together, and therefore they can kind of see each other's villages, and it won't produce as many. That's where you get around about 4.5 iron golems each time. So we just go and watch them. You can see they just come out of the bed, and that time it produced 5 guys. So it can be less than 6 during night hours. So it's really cool to see these changes, and it'll probably allow us to make a little bit more compact iron farms. The workstations really don't play that big a deal into it, and it'll probably also help on lag because they don't have to attempt to try to pathfind to the workstation or work on the workstation. This will also help with natural iron farms as well, so they can summon iron golems to help protect their villages. If you guys do enjoy building simple farms as well as complex ones, make sure to check out the playlist down below. There's over 100 videos that go into great farms for both those categories. And if you haven't subbed to the channel yet, this is a great time to do it, as it is currently free. If you guys would like to look at this farm or the other farm in more detail, make sure to check out the links down below, as well as share this video with your favorite Minecrafter so they can learn about the new changes made to iron farms. And don't forget to leave a like on the video. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.